This is Grandpa Jim again, coming to you. We've had a few requests since we did the window air conditioning units. Now we're going to do a central air conditioning unit. So the first thing we always want to do is make sure that power is turned off, disconnected. So we want to be safe when we're doing this. So we're going to come to the breaker panel, look on, hopefully they were written down. And we're going to shut off the breaker for the air conditioner and the condenser, which are right there. Now that the power is off, we're going to go over and actually start the maintenance. So the first thing that we want to do is, since this is a heating and air conditioning central unit, we're going to turn off the humidifier. This actually has a humidifier that's a separate piece. So we want to make sure that it is turned to the off position. And then we also want to turn off the water that feeds the humidifier. That way it stays off until the fall when it's time for the heating season. Now during the summer, and typically now is a good time to do this, a humidifier is going to have media in it as well. It's a filter. So you're going to want to check that and see if it needs replaced. They're usually not too expensive, but well worth the little bit of maintenance for the hassle that you have. So the inside part of central air conditioner maintenance is relatively easy. This one has a media cartridge air filter, and we just take and pull the cover off. And inside is a plastic holder. And this whole section in here, this is your filter. So if you see this even the least bit brown, then you're way overdue for getting it replaced. So they are a little bit expensive, but they do a good job of cleaning the air as it's blowing through. So you make sure that you do that. The most that you want to wait with these is about 3 months. Anything more than that, and you're probably going to run a risk of not cooling and heating the house in its entirety. So you put this back on just the way it came off. Just snaps on, and that's the most part of what you do inside. Now, one other thing is the evaporator has a drain. Sometimes this drain can get plugged, and if it does, you'll have water down inside the blower unit. So this one was installed nicely. It actually has a cap on the end, so we can open it up. If we need to, we can get in from this side, maybe blow it with some air. The alternative and easier way is if you have a shop vac on the drain line just before it goes to the floor, there's a gap there. You can hook up your shop vac to it, and it'll suck out any blockages that are in there. So that's about it for the interior. We're going to go outside now, so we'll gather up in a few secs. All right, we're outside now. So the next thing that we're going to do is out here, there is a disconnect, and we want to make sure that that is shut off, as this is power as well. Breaker being off should be sufficient, but I always like to be doubly sure. So now this is turned off for sure. Now, one of the big things that a lot of people do is they plant gardens around their unit, and depending on what's growing there, it may or may not be a problem. Like what we have growing here, this is going to end up growing into where the air needs to circulate. So we want to make sure that all of these vents are all uncovered and clear. So we're going to do a little bit of gardening and cleaning up here. You don't need that weed there anyways. So if you have weeds growing up, or in this case we have a
a rose bush. You want to just trim that back a little bit. And then there's a little bit more on this side, clear. So we got it all cleared out around. So you want to keep an eye on that through the summer because plants do grow. Even when it's dry, the weeds will grow. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we clean out the coils in here. So you want to just take a regular hose and a sprayer. You don't want to use a pressure washer because you can easily damage the machine and the coils. So we're just going to take it and spray it down, give it a good cleaning from the outside. If there's any debris, you want to take and pull that out and just hose it down. Same way we did with the window air conditioner. Take and hit it from the inside out as well. If you really want to, you can take off the top and get a closer access to it, give it a little more pressure. And that's about all there is to cleaning that up. Now, one of the things that you may need to do if your fan is exposed and you don't have a cover for it for the winter, if you look in close here, you can see that there are some of these fins that are bent over. And again, the cooling is done by the air moving over these coils. So anytime you have the fins blocking, where they're bent over, you don't have that air circulation. So if it is really bad, you want to come in and just using a regular butter knife, you can come in and straighten those fins out. It's a little bit of a tedious job, but in the end, it's going to make your air conditioner much more efficient, and you'll be enjoying the cool air inside after being outside in the heat and humidity. So that's about it for the central air conditioning unit. Please don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll see you on Saturday with our next video, unless I got something else that pops up that we want to fix between now and then. Till then, this is Grandpa Jim signing off from Grandpa Teaches. See you next time.